let's turn our attention to what the RBA and Governor did today in terms of Governor Bullock, and we saw she kept the rate on hold. So the RBA board decided to keep the rate on hold, and that's sort of off the back of if you think about the minutes from the last board meeting. Now, we'll get more. Obviously, she's doing a press conference now, and we'll have the monetary statement as well. So we'll hear more about what their views are. But right now, at this stage, there is a concern that rates are potentially, not too hot, not too cold, and we'll just see how it's going to play out. So that is ultimately this narrow path, and that's why they've kept the rates on hold here. But in terms of tightening bias or easing bias, we're going to see how that plays out over the course of, the statement and what she says during her press conference, which is happening right now. So for me, that's obviously an interesting thing. What I think about really is maintaining that employment story and what I was just saying, that narrow path, but also in terms of retail sales. The economy is showing signs of slowing. Consumer sentiment is definitely in a very negative area, which we'll talk to in a minute. So that's one of the sort of main themes that I'm seeing around just holding the line and just waiting for a little bit more data in terms of making their next call. How did you see the call today, Evan?
Yeah, again, they keep giving themselves flexibility. So all of their language, and it's the same with the one that we saw in this, what we've just seen today, but also what we saw in their previous one back in March, is that the flexibility is still maintained. So they're still saying and talking about the concern around getting inflation back to target. They don't want inflation psychology to become absolutely rooted inside the population, and they are aware of that. They do point, again, to the global story that is two-speed, which is what we spoke about already in this talk, is the two-speed economy is there. They also talk about the China story still not really chugging along. So it gives them that ability, that flexibility to say, that's why we've kept rates on hold today. They're certainly still pointing to the idea and in their assumptions that, future and looking into 25 and 26, that, inflation will get back to target. They are a little bit concerned about the time frame, but overall, it's why they've sat on their hands today. Again, the only thing I sort of see mostly about this is, again, the flexibility term is there because they can also therefore argue into the future that if they were to raise rates, they had that sort of option in their last statement, what we've just seen today, and what we're likely to hear from Michelle Bullock in her press conference right now.